Oh, my bad. My bad. Still had my mic muted from JoJo Friday yesterday. Let's try that again. Yo, what is up, guys? We are back. How is everybody doing? Also, I gotta adjust my desktop audio, apparently. Man, we are all kinds of unorganized today, but you know what? That's what happens sometimes. You live stream, not everything is gonna go perfectly all of the time. Sometimes you do an oopsie, alright? Forbidden Fate Gaming did an oopsie? Yeah, we did. But you know what? Forget about that. We're gonna play some Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And we're gonna be looking for this goddamn fucking bird. Okay? Don't even get me started on how long I've spent looking after this fucking bird. You gotta be kidding me. 95 hours, you gotta be joking me. Let's see what we get. Nope, that's not it. Imagine if that was the shiny. God, that would have made such a good clip if that was the shiny. Also, I should mention, I got lucky today and got some cash, so we don't have to worry about our Doom Eternal pre-order anymore. That's like completely taken care of. So I actually put up a voting poll over on the community tab because I want to set a new donation goal, because we got our Pokemon Sword pre-order, we got our Doom Eternal pre-order. Those are like the two games this year that I was like must have. Also, there's like Link's Awakening and Daemon X Machina, which I also really want. But, you know, Pokemon Sword and Doom Eternal, we already got our pre-orders for them. It's all good to go. That's fine. So, I put up a voting poll over on the community tab, because I want to start a new donation goal since I was able to get the Doom Eternal pre-order. So I wanted to start a new donation goal, and I wanted you guys to pick what game it's going to be for. So there's actually a voting poll over on the community tab, and so far the voting has been unanimous. Like 100% of the votes have gone into fucking Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I find hilarious, because I've never played an Animal Crossing game. I did want to try it out, because I know it's a beloved franchise. So we might end up making that our new donation goal, is to get a pre-order for that. But yo, we got Jazz Gaming in the building. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're hoping for this blue bird, because we've done 95 hours of this and we haven't gotten it yet. We're probably going to hit 100 hours, either on this stream or the next stream. I don't think we're going to do 5 hours today. I went out and played Pokemon Go today, which I was going to live stream, but the only reason I didn't is because Omelette Arcade, like, completely broke down today. Like, I don't know if it's just me or if everybody was having issues with it. I'm assuming it was just me, but like I could not get Omelette Arcade to work today, for whatever reason. So yeah, I wasn't able to live stream Pokemon Go today, but I can tell you things went okay. I got 7 shiny Rolts, one of which I fully evolved into a Gardevoir, and another that I evolved into a Kirlia, and I have the candy to evolve it into Gallade. I just don't have the Sinnoh Stone to evolve it into Gallade yet. But I got the Gardevoir, I got like 5 Rolts, and then I have a Kirlia that I'm gonna evolve into Gallade once I get a Sinnoh Stone. All of which are shiny. And then on top of that, I also caught 3 Rayquaza today. So I'd say that's pretty good. None of those were shiny, unfortunately. But Rayquaza was a new dex entry for me. I've never had a Rayquaza in Pokemon Go before. So that's a completely new dex entry for me. And Gallade will also be a new dex entry for me when we get that. The only thing holding that up is the fact that I don't have a Sinnoh Stone. So overall, I'd say today was pretty productive with Pokemon Go. Again, I wasn't able to live stream it due to some technical issues. But you know what? We're here. We're hunting this Articuno. And we're going to do a couple hours. I don't know how many, because I am very tired. But we're going to at least do a few hours. Maybe like 2 or 3 hours on this. And then next time we hunt this, which will be next Saturday, we will actually hit the 100-hour mark. And possibly surpass it. Unless we get the shiny today, which I'm really hoping for. But we're getting very close to that 100-hour mark on this thing. Yo, how's everybody doing? Yo, Jack Guillory is fun. How you doing? Welcome to stream. Yo, Gabe! How you doing? Welcome to stream. How is everybody doing? I don't know why Jack Guillory sounds so fucking familiar to me. That name sounds very familiar to me. I don't know why. Yeah, how's everybody doing? We're hanging out. We're trying to get this shiny bird. It's been 95 hours of this shit and we haven't gotten it yet. And I'm a little salty about it, but you know, we're not gonna worry about that, okay? Don't even get me started. We ain't gonna worry about it. I am so good right now. I have a question. Okay, what's your question? Give me that thick question. What you got? What you got? On Roblox? Yeah, I don't know why Jack Guillory sounds so familiar to me. Do I know somebody named Jack Guillory? I might. I know plenty of people named Jack. And I know a few people with the last name Guillory, so maybe I know a Jack Guillory? Maybe I went to school with somebody named Jack Guillory. That could be it. The name sounds very familiar to me. I don't know why. Let's see. Have you or will you play the new Kill la Kill game? Okay. You want to talk Kill la Kill? We can talk Kill la Kill, okay? I downloaded the demo for it, and I've already played the demo. And I absolutely need that game in my life. But it's not high on the priority list right now. So, we will get it at some point in time. That will happen. I just don't know when. Yo, Aqua, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while, my dude. How you doing? But yeah, Kill la Kill will happen. I just don't know when. Possibly already beat it, damn. The demo was fun. Like, I'm 100% getting that game. It's just not high on the priority list. Because I try to prioritize the stuff that, I try to prioritize the stuff that a majority of my audience is going to be interested in first. And then work down towards the stuff that, like, I actually want that nobody would really be interested in. Not that nobody would be interested in Kill la Kill content, but I feel like a vast majority of my audience wouldn't be, interested in it. A lot of the anime-based games don't do very well on my channel. But, you know, we do have our pre-order for Pokemon Sword. I am gonna pre-order Doom Eternal. Like, I'm probably gonna do that Monday. And then the next thing on our list of priorities is basically whatever wins the voting poll that's currently up on the channel. Jack Howard, Peter Guillory. That's a lot of names. I'm making my own anime? Nice. I always wanted to do that. I've had ideas for, like, what would make a really cool anime. And I've had some character concepts. But, like, as far as, like, actually making an anime, like, there's a lot that fucking goes into it that it's just way over my head. But, you know, maybe one day we could get into that. But I've had some ideas. I've had some, like, concept characters that I drew a while back. Yeah, well, it's based off of the TV show, is it not? Or not the TV. Well, I guess it was a TV show, but it's based off of the anime, right? Like, it's the story of the anime, but it's a game, right? In which case, I already know, like, the entire story because I've watched the anime. Unless there's, like, its own story that is completely separate from the anime, in which case that would be interesting. All I know is that it's a fighting game with Kill la Kill characters, and there is a story mode. Migeru Tenshi. Nice. Would you mind if I share some details? I'd prefer if you didn't, if we're gonna play the game. But, like, is it like a one-for-one copy of the story that is from the anime? Or is it its own independent story? You know, you can answer that question. Is it its own independent story, or is it like a carbon copy of the story that the anime portrays? Or is it like somewhere in between that? That's the only thing I want to hear you answer. It's its own story? Okay. That's all I need to know. We're gonna play it on the channel. I don't want to know anything else. I don't know when we're going to play it on the channel, but we're going to play it. I also want to get the fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game, but it's on PS4, and I don't have one of those yet. And then there's also a new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game that's coming out. As of right now, it's only been confirmed that it's coming out in Japan. And it hasn't even been confirmed for consoles or PC. It's like legit Japan arcade machines. So we don't know if it's actually going to make its way to like a console release. But the new game It's literally JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's a battle royale with like all of the characters from all of the parts of JoJo. And it looks crazy. It looks really good, actually. Like, I'm not a huge battle royale person, but it looks hella clean. And it looks like very unique. So it's literally JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's a battle royale. As of right now, we only know that it's coming to, like, Japan arcade machines. We don't know if it's gonna be, like, on consoles or PC, or if it'll ever leave Japan, officially. But it does look really fucking good. Like, the character models look great. The gameplay looks really fucking good. No, I don't want to... I don't want any more details on the Kill la Kill game. Because if I hear anything else, I'm not going to want to get it. That's what happened with fucking Breath of the Wild. It's like, Breath of the Wild is a fucking fantastic game. But I never got it. Because by the time I had a Switch, I already knew literally everything that happens in that game. Like, story-wise. So then I had absolutely no motive to get the game. Which is why I still haven't gotten Breath of the Wild. Like, it's a fantastic game, but I already know everything that happens. So, you know, that's why I never got Breath of the Wild. But the sequel to Breath of the Wild, if I can stay spoiler-free on that by the time I'm able to get that game, we'll probably get that and play it on the channel. I'm actually thoroughly surprised that they're making a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Because it's not the first time that they've made a sequel to a Zelda game, but it's very rare that they make a sequel to a Zelda game. Usually, because you have, like, Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask, which are, like, technically sequels, but they're not, like, marketed as sequels. You know, they're technically sequels, but they're not marketed as a sequel to each other, you know? And then, like, you have Zelda on the NES, The Legend of Zelda on the NES, and then Zelda 2 on the NES, and that was a direct sequel, technically. And then, like, other than that, I can't think of any other situation where they made a direct sequel to a Zelda game. Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. Like, even the CDI games don't count, because the CDI games weren't sequels of each other. They were technically, like, their own independent stories based around specific characters. So even the CDI games don't count as being, like, sequels of each other, because they're not. Which, you know, the CDI games aren't canon anyway. So, like, it doesn't matter, but yeah, so this is the first time in a long time that I can think of them making a direct sequel to a Zelda game. I guess they did have the Four Swords Zelda game that, like, kind of got a sequel. Because they ended up having Triforce Heroes, which was, like, kind of a sequel, but not really. But yeah, it's not very often they make a direct sequel to a Zelda game, let alone actually market it as a sequel. Like I said, even with Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask was not marketed as a sequel to Ocarina of Time. It technically is a sequel, but it was never marketed as a sequel. At least not that I'm aware of. So, like, it's interesting for them to come out and be like, hey, Breath of the Wild 2 is a thing. It's very rare that they actually acknowledge, like, a direct sequel to a Zelda game. It'll be interesting. If I can manage to get that game, if I can manage to get my hands on that game completely spoiler-free, we'll play it on the channel. But I don't want to buy it if I get spoiled to everything before I get my hands on it. Because that's what happened with the first Breath of the Wild game. Is by the time I was able to get the game, I already knew everything that happened. So I lost all motivation of actually getting the game. So hopefully we can prevent that with the sequel and we'll actually get to play that. I have no clue when that's coming out either. I feel like it's probably not going to come out anytime soon. It's definitely not coming out this year. 100% not coming out this year. It could come out next year, but I kind of doubt it. I feel like 2021 at the earliest. And maybe like 2023 at the latest. For the Breath of the Wild sequel. Unless it gets like seriously delayed. Because if you think about it, it's probably going to use the same engine that Breath of the Wild did. It'll probably recycle a lot of the same assets that Breath of the Wild had. So it's not like they're starting completely from nothing. They have a starting point. But the fact that, like, when they revealed that it was a thing, we had a short animated trailer, and then followed by Breath of the Wild 2 is in development. Or, you know, the sequel to Breath of the Wild is in development. That was the exact words they said, in development. Which leads me to believe that it's going to be a while before we actually have an idea of when the release date is going to be. And a while before the game actually comes out. I'm thinking sometime between 2021 and 2023 is when we're going to see that game come out. Which is a while from now. It's 100% not happening this year. I don't care how much I fucking love Nintendo. Breath of the Wild 2 is not happening this year. I don't think anyone expects it to happen this year. And I can guarantee it's not happening this year. And I don't think it's happening next year either. It could happen next year if they really... Because when they say in development, we don't know how far in development they are. So... The fact that they showed us very little of the game, and the fact that they use the words in development, and the fact that they don't have an official title for it yet, leads me to believe that it's very early stages of development. So, you know, I don't expect us to get it 2020. I'm saying 2021 at the earliest, 2023 at the latest. If it's any later than 2023, you know, I don't know. I hope not. But I don't think we're getting it next year, and I can guarantee we're not getting it this year. Yo, Bat, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm taking a small break from Zelda games in general at the moment. I really want to get Zelda Link's Awakening. I think I would have fun with that game. Like the remake that's coming to Switch. I think I would have fun with that game. But we're going to prioritize like the next game we try to get is going to be whatever the voting poll is going to be. But yeah. Sad I didn't get any shiny rolls. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you ever happen to be in my area, I could trade you one. We could build up that friendship. I got 7 of them, so like we good. You know. I had a crazy day today. I went on a date today. I'm not going to go like super in depth about all of it all. But it was really fun. It was really fun. We went to the coffee house. And then we went to a bar and diner. Then we went to the gym. And then we spent 3 hours walking around hunting Pokemon. So it was a really fun date. We had a good time. But, yeah, so that's the thing that happened today. And I was gonna live stream the Pokemon Go Community Day. And the only reason I didn't was because Omelette Arcade wasn't fucking working. So I couldn't get it to work, which means I couldn't live stream it. A Poke Date? Yeah, pretty much. It was fun, though. We had a good time. My date actually got, right at the end of the event, got a shiny Ralts, which was her first ever shiny Pokemon. So, there you go. That was fun. That was fun. But I got 7 shiny Ralts, one of which I fully evolved into a Gardevoir, and then another that I evolved into a Kirlia. And I have enough candy to evolve it into Glade, but I can't evolve it yet because I don't have the Sinnoh Stone for it. So as soon as I get a Sinnoh Stone, I'll have Glade as well. And then I'll have a Gardevoir, a Glade, and then 5 Ralts, all of which will be shiny. And then I also got 3 Rayquaza today, none of which were shiny, unfortunately. But Rayquaza was a new dex entry for me, so I'm good with that. And then also, Glade, when I get that, will also be a new dex entry for me, because I don't have a Glade yet. Has any to trade? Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping we get this damn Articuno. Because we've been at this for too long. If we don't get it this episode, next episode we're going over 100 hours. I don't want to go over 100 hours on this thing. If we could get it before then, that would be great. Because we are at 95.5 hours on this thing right now. Have shiny Articuno and Pogo. Fuck you. You can take one of those. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But I do want one of those desperately. What I wish we had. Sinnoh remakes, which probably aren't happening anytime soon. If they ever happen. At this point, I'm not even thoroughly convinced that they're going to happen. At this point, I'm not even sure if Sinnoh remakes were going to happen. Like, it seemed like an obvious thing at first, because, yeah, we got fucking the Gen 1 remakes, we got Gen 2 remakes, we got Gen 3 remakes, we got Gen 1 remakes again for, like, the 3rd fucking time, but, you know, whatever. And then It's like, okay, we're getting Generation 8 and then Gen 4? And Gen 4 remakes? And, you know, it's like, at this point, I'm not convinced we're getting Gen 4 remakes. I'm pretty much convinced it's not happening now. At the very least, if it does happen, it's not anytime soon. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I would want it to happen. Given how much of a... How little fucks were given with Sword and Shield, I think people should be happy that they didn't remake Gen 4. Like, with as little fucks as they're giving with Sword and Shield, imagine if they did that to Gen 4. There would be fucking rioting in the streets. A lot of people, which I personally disagree with this, but a lot of people feel that Gen 4 is one of, if not the best generation. Again, I disagree with that, but you know, my opinions aside, if you ask most people what the best generation is, most of them are usually gonna say Gen 4. Or at least, you know, something like that. Gen 4 is very beloved by the Pokemon community. So it's like, if they made Gen 4 remakes with the quality that they're using for fucking Sword and Shield, which is fuck all, there would be fucking rioting in the streets. People would be furious. So at this point, I almost feel like it's a good thing they're not making Gen 4 remakes, because then they can't fucking ruin it. And it feels bad to say that, but you know, it's like, it's true. I speak the truth. Again, I disagree that Gen 4 is the best generation, but you know, that's besides the point. If they made Gen 4 remakes right now, with the kind of motivation that Game Freak has right now towards Pokemon, they would fucking ruin it. It would be a fucking basket fire. Or a dumpster fire. It would be a fucking dumpster fire, at best. I really want shiny Mischievous Miss Maggie's. I want a shiny Miss Maggie's. Really bad. Gen 4 was the best gen. I disagree. But, you know... See, I like Gen 4, okay? I don't dislike Gen 4 at all. There's a lot about Gen 4 I like. However, when you give me things like Tangrowth and fucking Rhyperior and fucking Magmortar, and there's probably a bunch of others that I'm forgetting right now, but those three in particular. you see what I'm saying? Rhyperior specifically. I fucking hate Rhyperior. What's the Electivire? I love Electivire. Electivire is great. I absolutely love it. Porygon Z, fantastic. I love it. Magnezone, fantastic. I don't necessarily love it, and it has a bad shiny, but Magnezone is good. Yeah, it's a good design. But Rhyperior and Tangrowth and Magmortar, no, they shouldn't have happened. So I understand where you're coming from here. Yeah. So I don't think Gen 4 is a bad generation. But like, I don't know. There was a majority of Gen 4 that were evolutions of like previous generations, which they do in every generation pretty much. But like Gen 4 had a shit ton of them. And then a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon were also pre-evolutions of previous generation Pokemon. So if you take all of those out, and then you just leave like the actual like Gen 4 Pokemon that are only from Gen 4 and have no relation to previous generations, like there's actually not that many new Pokemon in Gen 4. If you take out the ones that either evolve into or evolve from previous generations, then there's not that many for Gen 4. But you know, like, Gen 4 is not a bad generation. I don't think it's a bad generation. I just wouldn't say it's the best generation. I'd say it's close. I'd say it's probably top 3 when it comes to best generations, but I wouldn't say it's the best generation. Personally, I would say Gen 2 is the best generation, with Gen 7 as being second best, and then I would put Gen 4 at like third. And I would say the worst generation would be Gen 5. If I were rating them, that's what I would say. I'd say Gen 2 is the best. Gen 7 is second best. Gen 4 would be third. Generation 5 would be the worst. And then Gen 1 would probably be fourth. And then Gen 6 would be 5th. So 2, 7, 4, 1, 5. Or no, 2, 7, 4, 1, 6. Oh, I forgot about Gen 3. I forgot about Gen 3, never mind. Gen 3 would be above Gen 1. So, in that case, it would be... Yeah, I just realized that. So, alright, let me revise my list. Generation 2. These are my opinions, these are not fact. Generation 2, best generation. Generation 7, second best. Generation 4, I would say third. And then Generation 3, I would say fourth. Generation 1, I would say fifth. Generation 6, I would say seventh. And then Generation 5 is the worst. That is my opinion. But, you know, you can disagree with that all you want. It's just an opinion. But I would definitely put Gen 4 in the top 3. I would put definitely Generation 2, 4, and 7 within the top 3 best generations. And I would say Gen 5 is the worst generation. I feel like it's pretty unanimously agreed in the Pokemon community that Gen 5 is the worst. At least until Gen 8 comes out. Then it might have some competition. Because Gen 8 is going to be a complete shit show. Like, Gen 8 might actually take the cake for worst generation. Which is so sad. Because until all the controversy regarding it, I was looking at Gen 8 as like possibly the best generation. And then we found out about the National Dex scandal. We found out there's not going to be any Mega Evolutions. We found out that like there's tons of graphical glitches and all sorts of stuff that shouldn't be happening that is. And it's just like... Now I'm not nearly as hyped for it as I was. Like, 90% of the hype for that game has been fucking killed. For me, personally. I'm still gonna play it, because you gotta make that YouTube content. And I still want to try out some of the new Pokemon, and there's going to be new shinies. I'm hoping the shinies are good. If the shinies are good and the method of shiny hunting is comparable to that of Let's Go, I think the shiny hunting scene is where this game is going to thrive. But if it doesn't even have that, this game has no fucking hope. It's a Pokemon game, so it's still going to sell out the fucking ass, regardless. But I feel like it's going to sell less copies than previous Pokemon games. Maybe not the worst selling Pokemon game, if we're talking main series. But I don't think it's going to sell as well as some of the previous games. I'll be interested to see if Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee outsells Generation 8. I have a funny feeling it might. Also, fun fact, as of right now, which this could change, but as of right now, the worst selling main series Pokemon game, last time I checked anyway, is Pokemon Crystal. Pokemon Crystal is the worst selling main series Pokemon game. Last time I checked. That might have changed, but last time I checked, Pokemon Crystal was the least selling main series Pokemon game. Yeah, for me, Generation 8 is coming down to the Pokemon themselves, like the new ones they introduce, and the shinies. That's what it's coming down to for me. Yeah, Crystal wasn't a bad game. It was just like, as far as I'm aware, that is the least selling. Actually, I can double check that because it might have changed. But last time I checked, which is a while back, it was that one. Worst selling Pokemon game. No, I'm talking about main series. They're talking about Pokemon Go in this fucking list. You can't sell Pokemon Go. I mean, you can sell microtransactions, but the game itself is free. No, I need to... Worst selling main series Pokemon games. Let's see. No, I want to find the actual fucking statistics, not somebody's opinion on how good they are. God, I forgot where I saw this list last time. Hold on. Alright, I can just do this. Pokemon Crystal sales. Alright, here we go. This might help. Alright, here we go. Alright, this is a good representation. This only goes up to black and white though. Alright, so this is a little outdated. Alright, this is a little outdated, but this will give us some insight. Alright, so Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green. Again, this is a little outdated, but Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green sold about 31.3 million units, which Yellow, following after that, sold 14.6. Gold and Silver sold about 23.1, whereas Crystal only sold 6 million. Ruby and Sapphire sold about 15.3 million, whereas Emerald only sold about 6.3. Diamond and Pearl sold about 17.8 million, whereas Platinum only sold 7.3. And Black and White sold, at the time that this chart was made, sold 11.5 million. Again, this is definitely outdated, because this list only goes up to black and white. But I'm pretty sure not many people have bought brand new copies of Pokemon Crystal since this was made. So 6 million units were sold for Pokemon Crystal. That is a very low count for a Pokemon game, a main series Pokemon game. Anyway, we've gotten a little distracted here. And again, that is probably very outdated, because that list only went up to black and white. It didn't even have black 2, white 2 on there, or X and Y, or Sun and Moon, or any of that. So that's probably very outdated. So take that with a grain of salt. But it'll give us an idea. It'll give us an idea. 3 and 7 will always be best. I could see that. Like I said, 7 is on my top 3. 7's on my top 3 best generations. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's definitely on the top 3 for me. No need to fear, Z is here. Yo, how you doing, Z? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, in my opinion, the best 3 generations are... Generation 2 is the best. Generation 7 is second best. And Generation 4... is third best. I would say those are the top 3. Generation 3 would actually... I would tie Generation 3 with Generation 4. $262.72 for the right to be Z. I did not know that. That's crazy. I forgot. What gen? Let's see. I'm assuming you're gonna say Generation 3 or Generation 4. In which case, I would say... 1, that's probably not accurate, and 2, at that point in time, there was only like 2 other Pokemon generations prior. But, technically, National Dex has always been a thing since the second game. Technically. Because you could transfer your Pokemon from Generation 1 to Generation 2 on the Game Boy. So technically, since Gen 2, there's always been National Dex. In some way, shape, or form, there has always been a National Dex since Gen 2. Doesn't trust me with buttons anymore? Damn. How many Pokemon do you have left to catch? What do you mean? For the dex for this game? To complete the dex? I have a lot. I'm not really trying to complete the dex right now. Yeah, technically National Dex was Gen 2. Because you could transfer all of your Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 2. So that technically counts as a National Dex. It's not as extensive as the ones we have now, which we soon won't have anymore. Because Game Freak is a bunch of fucking idiots. But, you know... It's not as extensive as the National Dex we've come to know now, but still, having Generation 1 Pokemon transferred to Generation 2 still counts as a National Dex. Yeah, exactly. It still counts as a national dex. So, Generation 2 is when national dex would have been introduced. Let's see. Do you have a 3DS? I do not. I have a 2DS. The original 2DS, which is... It used to be over there, but it's not over there anymore. It's somewhere else. No, I'm upset with Game Freak. Like, honestly, Pokemon Sword and Shield is the first time, alright? Let's just get this straight. Let's get this all clear, okay? I am 21 years old, currently, going on 22. I have been playing video games pretty much since I've been 4, alright? This is the first time ever that I have even considered canceling a pre-order for a game. Pokemon Sword and Shield is the first time I have ever even considered canceling a pre-order. That's how fucking bad it's gotten. I've never considered canceling a pre-order before until Sword and Shield. I'm upset with that. That's a bad thing. And Game Freak, you know, they might not care about me personally. Like, they might not care about my opinions personally, and that's fine. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't expect them to care about my individual opinions. But that statement alone should be significant for them to be like, you know what, maybe we are fucking up here. If this guy, who's been playing fucking video games nearly his entire fucking life, this is the first time he's ever considered canceling a pre-order, and it's one of our games, maybe we're fucking up. You know, just maybe. You know? Of course they don't care about my opinions personally. It's not like I can call up Game Freak and be like, hey, you guys are fucking up over there, and they'll be like, yeah, you're right, let's change something. It doesn't work like that. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. I am completely invisible to them. But I feel like it's significant that this is the first time I've ever felt the need to possibly cancel a pre-order. I feel like that's very significant. And I feel like a lot of people are having that same kind of experience with Sword and Shield. Where, like, we were hyped for it, and now all the hype is dead. And that's significant, alright? If one person tells you you're fucking up, no big deal, right? But if a fucking million people, or even more so than that, tell you you are fucking up, you're doing something wrong. That's all I'm saying. I really hope they delay the game and they do fucking right by us, but I don't see it happening. Honestly, the only thing I'm excited for with Sword and Shield now, because I was excited for all of it. Dead do the roar? I have no clue what you're talking about, Pat. But, like, if, like, originally I was hyped for this game. I was hyped for, like, everything it had to offer. It looked great. It looked like it was going to be a fun time. And then all the controversies come up. And now the only thing I'm hyped for in this game now is the shiny hunting. If the shiny hunting is comparable to how it is in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and the shinies are fucking fantastic looking, then that would be something for me to be hyped for this game. But if the shiny hunting is no good and the shinies themselves are no good, then I have nothing to be hyped for in this game anymore. That's like the one thing that gives me hope for Sword and Shield, is that the shinies are going to be really good, and, you know, I'm just hoping some of the elements that they use for shiny hunting in this game kind of transfer over to Sword and Shield. Because we do know that there are Pokemon in the overworld for Sword and Shield, as well as random encounters. There's both. Which is what I was saying they could have done with this game. Because people were bitching about the fact there's no random encounters in this game. But they did it for Sword and Shield. There's random encounters, and then there's also overworld encounters. There's both. So if we still keep, like, shinies in the overworld, and we still have, like, the catch combo mechanic, then, like, and like, the shinies themselves for this generation are really fucking good, then I could get hyped for that, okay? I could be hyped for that. But if that's not there, if the shiny hunting's not there, if the shinies look like garbage, I have no hype for this game. That's the only thing left that could hype me up for this game. That and Impidimp, because Impidimp is fucking adorable. They need Impidimp plushies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a dark fairy type for Generation 8. And it's based off of an imp. And it's fucking adorable. I'm assuming it's going to be the Zubat of this generation. But it's fucking adorable. It's called Impidimp. That's its fucking name. It's adorable. I broke my pen at work. Bruh, that sucks. Actually, I'm gonna try to find a fucking picture of Impidimp and link it in chat. Or actually, I could pull it up on stream. That would be better. I should do that instead. Impidimp. This thing is fucking adorable. I have no clue what its evolution is going to be, but we do know that it is a dark fairy type, and I'm assuming it's going to be the Zubat of this generation. So if we pull this up here, look at this fucking dude. Look at this fucking dude and tell me that's not adorable. Look at this fucking dude. I love this guy. Alright, this is what's saving Generation 8 for me right now. This one fucking Pokemon. That and Roly-Coly, just because Roly-Coly's a really funny name. My coworker and I kept saying, "Do the roar" at work. That's funny. That's funny. But look at this fucking Pokemon, okay? This damn thing's name is Impidimp. Tell me that's not adorable. It's ugly cute? No, it's fucking adorable. It's adorable, and I love it, and it's best boy. Or girl. Or both. And I need it. I'm assuming it's going to be the Zubat of this generation. I don't know that for a fact. But it's a dark fairy type, so, like, that's pretty cool. It's so ugly, it's cute, like newborn babies. Oh, that's funny. They have Roly-Coly too, which is another Pokemon that's coming with Generation 8, which I'm assuming is going to be like the Geodude of this generation. But it's called Roly-Coly. It's literally just a lump of coal with like a smaller lump of coal that has a red eye on it, and that's it. And it moves around like fucking BB-8 from Star Wars. And I fucking love it. Its name is Roly-Coly. Okay, how could you not love it? I cannot wait to see what that thing evolves into. And I hope the shiny for it is fucking fantastic. I hope the starters get really good shinies. I've decided that Scorbunny will likely be my starter for Gen 8. Imps are usually female, yeah. Well, it's a Pokemon though, so unless they make it a genderless Pokemon, or they make it to where the gender ratio is 100% female, it'll probably have a male and a female one. Are you gonna stream Sword and Shield or no? Of course I'm gonna stream Sword and Shield. That's like the only reason I'm getting the fucking game at this point. Otherwise I would have canceled my pre-order. Like the only reason I'm getting it at this point is just to do YouTube content on it. Because I asked you guys, I did a fucking voting poll. I did a voting poll and I was like, look guys, Generation 8 is not looking good. I'd honestly rather put my money elsewhere and cancel the pre-order. But like, do you guys want to see Generation 8? And like 70% of you voted yes. So the only reason I'm getting Sword at this point is specifically to do YouTube content on it. Otherwise, I would have canceled the pre-order. 100%. So I'm only getting it because fucking you guys voted and said you guys wanted it. So we will be doing content on it. Oh, did you post a picture of Roly-Coly? Hold on. I want to see this thing. Hey, there's my little Roly-Coly bastard. I love this fucking guy. Also, we have Yamper, which is kind of like the Growlithe of this generation. It's literally just Growlithe, but it's an electric type, and it's also fucking Corgi. It's a Corgi electric type thing. Actually, fucking Yamper has like a really good ability that I find very interesting. It has an ability that if you have it in your party and you try to catch a Pokemon and your Pokeball fails to catch, it'll actually retrieve that Pokeball so you can use it again. It only works once per, like, encounter. So you don't get, like, infinite Pokeballs off of it, because that would be broken. But it does save, like, the first Pokeball that fails while trying to catch something. Which I think is really cool. I hope they have an animation for that. But they probably won't. Because the animations have been pretty lackluster for this generation from the gameplay we've seen. Like, they've been about on par with previous generations. In fact, some of the animations are pulled directly from previous generations. Which is completely contradictory to what they said, because they said, when they were asked about National Dex, they said the reason why they removed it was development time so they could provide higher fidelity animations, because the Switch allows them to do that. And then, like, a lot of the models and animations have pretty much been proven to be pulled from previous generations. So, that whole thing about, no, we're doing it because we need development time to provide higher quality animations, it's like, no, that's bullshit, and you know it's bullshit. And it's like, you know, even if that was the case, even if they were like, look, okay, we're cutting National Dex because we want to provide higher quality animations for the Pokemon that we will have in the game. You know, if that were the case, and they actually provided that higher quality animations that they said that they're going to, I would have been less mad about it. I still would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have been mad. But the whole fact that they're straight up lying to us, that's what pisses me off. Yeah, the fact that they're lying about it. And they've been caught that they're lying about it. And they've had a Game Freak employee that came out in an interview and straight up said that Pokemon is no longer Game Freak's #1 priority. But, you know, I don't know. The whole Gen 8 scandal is just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand how Game Freak can just be so, like, nonchalant about Pokemon. Like, oh, Pokemon, it's not a big deal, you know. It's only what pays the bills and is literally the only reason people know who we are. It's like, nah, we don't need to care about that. Okay, we got Town. Town is gonna fucking save us. It's like, nobody gives a shit about Town, okay? It's not Pokemon. I just don't understand their train of thought. I can't understand it. Like, I could kind of understand not, like, you know, if you're working on Pokemon games constantly, you're going to want to work on other stuff. You know, I can understand that from, like, a creative aspect. You're going to get burnt out and want to work on other stuff, and that's fine. But from a business standpoint, to take the one thing that people actually know you for, and the one thing that I guarantee brings in, like, at least 90% of their revenue, if not more, and to just be like, we don't care about it anymore, that just makes no fucking sense to me. And again, I'm on a little bit of a rant here, but, you know, it's just mind-boggling. Depending on the Evos, my starter will be Scorbunny or Sobble. I'm pretty much set on Scorbunny. I don't see why Game Freak is even pulling this stuff. It's literally they just don't care anymore. That's what it comes down to. They had an employee that came out and said, yeah, Game Freak doesn't prioritize Pokemon anymore. Which I just can't understand that, because I guarantee that's like 90% of their revenue, if not more, comes in from Pokemon. It's like the only thing people know them for. And yeah, it makes no sense to me from a business standpoint. From a creative standpoint, I could understand it, because working on the same thing over and over and over again, you're gonna get burnt out. You're gonna want to start working on other things. And, you know, I can understand that from a creative standpoint. That makes sense. But from a business standpoint, that is their bread and butter, to straight up be like, we don't care anymore. That just doesn't make sense to me. Nobody would know who Game Freak is if it wasn't for Pokemon. I guarantee that. Because, like, name one game without going on your phone and looking up Google and all that shit. Name one game that Game Freak has done that is not a Pokemon game. Off the top of your head. Go on, I'll wait. I can think of one off the top of my head, and that's just because I'm a fucking nerd, but... I want everybody in the chat right now, name one, off the top of your head, honestly. Name one Game Freak game. Town does not count, because Town is not out yet. That one doesn't count. Name one game that Game Freak has done that is not Pokemon. Exactly. Nobody fucking knows. Exactly. That is exactly my point. Also, the one I was talking about was Yoshi for the Game Boy. They made a game called Yoshi for the Game Boy, and it was a glorified Tetris clone that featured Yoshi from the Mario franchise. Which actually, I think that was before Yoshi was part of the Mario franchise, but you know. But yeah, they made a game called Yoshi for the Game Boy. But that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. And that was like a year or 2 years before Pokemon came out, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's exactly my point. Not a single person watching this stream right now could name a game that Game Freak has worked on that is not Pokemon. That's exactly my point. And that is exactly why they should care. Because that is their bread and butter, man. That's like if you owned a bakery, right? You let's say you owned a shop that sold donuts, okay? That'd be like walking into your donut shop one day and being like, you know what? I don't care about donuts anymore. We're just gonna start selling used tires. And then people come in expecting donuts, and it's like, no, here's a used tire. Okay? That's basically the equivalent of what they're fucking doing. And it makes no sense. Anyway, I hope everything in the end works out and that all my bitching was for nothing and Gen 8 comes around and it ends up being a fucking fantastic game that blows us out of the water. I just don't see that happening. Like, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and be optimistic and hope that Generation 8 comes out, and it blows me out of the water, you know? I'm hoping, alright? I'm hoping they can prove me wrong here, but so far, everything they've shown me is not good. But, you know, who knows? A lot of people, when Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee were announced, a lot of people were highly against it, and I fucking love Let's Go Eevee. Like, honestly, maybe one of my favorite Pokemon main games. I would say main series, but that's highly debatable on whether or not it's a main series. I personally say it is. Game Freak themselves have said it is. But, you know, people debate about that. I'm not looking for another debate on that. We've talked about that too many times on the channel. But, you know, besides the point, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee might be one of my favorite Pokemon experiences that I've had recently. And that's saying a lot. So, you know, when this game was announced, a lot of people had mixed opinions on it. A lot of people were upset with it. A lot of people, you know, were like, oh, this is going to be fucking terrible. It's going to be bad. And I fucking love this game. So maybe the same thing will happen with Generation 8. Maybe it'll have a rocky start where people aren't so sure about it, and then it comes out, and it's like, no, this is actually a solid game. That's what I'm hoping for. Because that's exactly what happened with this game. People were all over the place with this game when it was announced. And then there's still a lot of people who don't like this game. But this is a solid game. It's a solid game. And I hope I can say the same for Generation 8. I'm not 100% convinced, but I hope. How long do you give them until they either fall or realize their error? Well, the only way Game Freak is gonna quote-unquote fall is, I would say, is if they lost their foothold in the Pokemon company altogether. If the Pokemon company came around and was like, you know what, Game Freak, we don't want you making Pokemon games anymore. If they lost the rights to make the Pokemon games, Game Freak would fucking crash and burn. But so long as they're able to make Pokemon games, people are gonna buy them. No matter how bad they are, people are gonna buy them because it's fucking Pokemon. People will buy anything that has Pokemon on it. I could take a fucking shit, put some googly eyes on there, and call it a fucking Pokemon, and somebody would buy it. Yeah, maybe not that far, but you know, maybe not that far. But you know, my point still stands. If it's Pokemon, people are gonna buy it. So, even if Generation 8 is bad, people are still going to buy it. They're still going to make money off of it. And, you know, so long as they're doing that, they'll be fine. But if Game Freak lost the rights to do the Pokemon games altogether, if Nintendo or the Pokemon Company or whoever is in charge of that comes along and was like, Game Freak, we don't want you making Pokemon games anymore. We're giving that right over to somebody else. Game Freak would fucking crash and burn. They would be gone. Nobody would care about them anymore. So long as they're able to make Pokemon games, they'll stay in business. Even if the Pokemon games are shit, they'll still be doing alright. So I don't think Game Freak is going anywhere financially as far as, like, going out of business. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think we'll see that happen anytime soon. And I don't wish that upon them. I just want to be very clear. I don't wish that any company goes out of business. Because, you know, that's people's livelihood. You know, that's how they make their money to support their families. You know, I don't wish that upon any company. You know? But the track that they're going on as far as the quality of their stuff, it's steadily declining. What if? I feel like maybe, and this is a very big maybe. Because Nintendo, you know, Nintendo is a company. Of course they care about making money. Of course they care about making money. They're a company. That's how they stay in business. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. You know, that is a motivation of theirs. However, Nintendo has always, maybe not with their online service, because Nintendo still lives in the early 2000s and doesn't know how to do online, unfortunately. But with their games, their first-party games, Nintendo has always held a very high standard for the quality of their games. That is undeniable. Nintendo has always done that. So I feel like even if Pokemon is making them money, which you know it will because it's fucking Pokemon, I feel like if we get game after game after game that the quality is just obviously not there, they might actually cut ties with Game Freak and give it to somebody else to work with. Because Nintendo, they care about money, obviously. They're a company. And Pokemon makes them a lot of money. But Nintendo also cares very deeply about the quality of their content. So if Game Freak keeps pumping out game after game after game that the quality is just lacking and not up to Nintendo's standards, Nintendo would actually cut ties with them. I don't think they're going to. I just want to be very clear. I don't think that's going to happen. But I believe it's a possibility if we keep seeing Game Freak doing what they're doing now with the Pokemon franchise. I believe that it's a possibility. Because, like, look at Metroid Prime 4. Alright? They could have released that game in a fucking terrible state, and it still would have sold out the fucking ass. But they completely scrapped development of it altogether and started all over from the very beginning with a whole new production team, mostly made out of people who worked on the original Metroid Prime games. So they didn't have to do that. They could have released Metroid Prime Metroid Prime 4 on schedule, and maybe it wouldn't have had the best quality, but it still would have sold out the fucking ass. But they did that because they were not happy with the quality of the game. Nintendo cares a lot about the quality of their content. Maybe not necessarily the online service, they haven't figured that out yet. But the quality of their games, they have always held a very high standard to. And that's one of the things that I really respect Nintendo for. That and the fact that Nintendo aren't afraid to try new things. Because a lot of these gaming companies, you know, it's just, you know, a more powerful Xbox, a more powerful PS4, you know. And, you know, that's fine. That's great. But Nintendo's like, no, okay, we're gonna try some new shit. We're gonna throw in fucking motion controls in like 2009. Or, no, 2006, right? For the Wii? 2004, maybe? 2006? I don't know, whenever the fuck the Wii came out. Like, they're like, no, we're gonna play around with fucking motion controls. Or the Switch, it's like, we're gonna have a handheld and a console. It's like Nintendo is not afraid to try new things, and I absolutely love that about them. And sometimes it works out for them, and sometimes it doesn't. But they're not afraid to try. And that, in combination with just the high standard they hold with the quality of their content, is why I have such a deep respect for Nintendo. Not to say that, you know, PS4 and Xbox and all that don't have quality stuff as well. I'm not saying that. But, you know, that's, you know, how I feel about Nintendo. Yeah, and sometimes it works out for them. The Switch is definitely working out for them. But, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Game Freak. I hope it all works out. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. Not just for my sake and not just for the Pokemon community as a whole, but also for, like, you gotta think, Pokemon Sword and Shield, for a lot of people, are gonna be their very first Pokemon game. Just like Pokemon Silver was my first main series Pokemon game, and some of you, Pokemon, Diamond and Pearl might have been some of your first games. Some of you might have started with the original Pokemon game. You know, just like all of you started with a specific Pokemon game as your first, there will be a lot of people who Pokemon Sword and Shield is their first Pokemon game. And that's sad to me because it doesn't look like it's going to be good. Practically cult following. No, I love Nintendo. I have a love-hate relationship with them. I love their hardware. I love their software. I hate their online service. That's where I'm at with Nintendo. I love their passion, though. They're very passionate about what they do. A lot of the other companies are, like, strictly business, and it's like, no, Nintendo, they like to have fun with their stuff. They're passionate about what they do, and I like that. Omega Ruby, but before that I collected cards and didn't even know it was a game. Their online service is Yeah, it is very There is talk that they're gonna revise it, but, you know, at this point I'm not sure how much that would actually help. There's such a negative stigma to it that even if they did do it, I don't think it would help that much. And, like, the people who were gonna buy the online service already bought it at this point. Like, let's be honest. But, hi, I'm new. Yo, welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're hanging out. We're trying to get this shiny bird. It's not working, but I want it. Can they add themes other than black and white? Yeah, like, that's another thing, right? Like, why the hell has that not happened yet? I mean, we do kind of. And I put a very high emphasis on kind of. have other themes. Because we have black and white. But then you can also go to... And this doesn't really count, but it is something I like fucking around with every now and then. You can go to here, and you can do like that. And now everything's fucking inverted. And then you can also do... Let's see. This. And then everything's in grayscale. So we kind of have 4 themes, but like those don't really count. Also, this does affect the gameplay as well. So if I actually go into the game itself will also be black and white. Is that they allowed a Kill game to be played on one of their consoles, but that's beside the point. Frankly, yeah, like, I mean, they have a bunch of games on the Switch that, like, a couple years ago, Nintendo would have never allowed on a fucking Nintendo platform. But, you know, I don't know, I like the approach they're going with the Switch. But yeah, we're black and white now. And then, again, if I went to invert, we could do that as well. So if I went here and then went to... wait, where is it? Did I go to the wrong one? Did I go to the... I might have gone to the wrong one. Unless I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay. I do that. And then I go here. Now we're playing in style. Also, I want to say, I kind of wish this was Articuno shiny. Because look how good this looks. Look how good inverted Articuno looks. Take a look at this. Take a look at this thing. Look how good that thing looks. Like, I kind of wish that was the shiny for Articuno, because that looks amazing. Like, look at that. That looks so good. Gengar looks really cool too, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna turn that back to normal now. There we go. We're getting close to our next subscriber goal, by the way. 1.2K, we're gonna be live streaming playing video games on a karaoke machine. Because that's a thing I can do. Like, actually playing the games on a karaoke machine. I have a karaoke machine here with a CRT on it that's like this big. And we're gonna be playing video games on it and live streaming it. It's gonna be fun. Yo, Ansoni, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I can't believe we haven't gotten this thing yet. Just by, like, fucking dumb luck. We haven't gotten it yet. Like, we need some dumb luck in here, guys. Okay, that's what we need. I can't believe we haven't gotten it. We are 96 and a half hours. And we haven't gotten this fucking thing yet. You would think just by dumb luck we would have gotten it by now. But RNG just fucking hates us, apparently. I'm just not allowed to have this thing. And you know what the worst part is? We still gotta get the other legendaries. This is the first one. We still gotta get Moltres, Zapdos, and fucking Mewtwo. I'm saving Mewtwo for last. And then there's also a bunch of other shinies in this game we don't have yet. But at least if we get the Articuno, we can move on to something else. We can go shiny hunt something else. We're probably not going to do another legendary immediately after getting Articuno. But I want to at least get Articuno, and then we'll move on to, like, maybe some wild spawn stuff. And then eventually work our way back up to another legendary grind. But yeah, the grind for this fucking thing has been ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Damn, man. This game just does not want us to have this thing. I'm very upset about that. Because I need it. It's gonna feel so good once we fucking get this Articuno, though. It's gonna feel so fucking good. Whew. Yeah, I don't know, man. This game just does not want us to have this fucking thing. Well, mostly 2 songs. Yeah, that's nice. I really like the fucking Undertale soundtrack. The Greatest Showman. I have not seen it. I have not seen it. Now comes the part where Bat tells me I absolutely have to watch it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Come on. You know you're gonna say it. That happens with, like, literally every fucking movie. Someone's like, hey, have you seen this movie? No, I haven't seen that movie. You should watch that movie. Okay, I'll watch that movie. Adds it to the list of movies I need to watch. Never watches any of them, because I get overwhelmed by the list of movies I need to watch. That's literally my life. It's a great underdog story. Oh, I like those. Alright, well, I'll have to add it to the metaphorical list of movies, then. Which basically equates to if I happen to see it at a Redbox. The Ace Attorney soundtrack. So far, the Ace Attorney music is good, but none of it's been anything that I would particularly jam to, you know? Like, it's good music, but it's not like stuff I would jam to, you know? It's not like I would put it on my playlist to go work out at the gym or something. Like, it's good music, it's just not that kind of music. I don't know, though, because I've only, I've only played the first Ace Attorney game so far, technically. And I haven't even beaten it yet, so I haven't even heard all the music yet, unless I have, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. So take that with a grain of salt, but so far from the music I've heard from it, it's good music, but it's not like stuff I would bop to, you know? Whew. Man, this ARTICUNO grind is ridiculous. I think we're going to wrap up in about 15 minutes. And then next weekend, we'll hit the 100-hour mark. Because next time we stream this, we'll do like 3 hours on it. But yeah, we'll wrap up in about 15 minutes because I'm feeling tired. It's been a long day. But, yeah, we will, next weekend, next Saturday, we'll do the next stream of this. And during that stream, we'll hit 100 hours. Because we're going to be ending this stream at 97 hours. And then next time we stream it, we'll stream it for another 3. So that'll put us at 100. Unless we get it before then. But that'll put us at 100 hours. So next time we stream this, we'll be at 100 hours for this thing if we go the entire episode without finding it. That's insane. Yeah, we're gonna be wrapping this up soon. I still haven't eaten dinner yet. Although, unlike usual, I actually have eaten today. Usually when I say that on stream, it means I haven't eaten at all that day. But I actually did eat earlier, because I went on a date, and I ate at a restaurant. But, you know, that's besides the point. I should probably sleep, dude. I only just got on, but I guess I'll see ya. Also, haven't been able to join the server because of broken computer. Okay, now see ya. Alright, thanks for stopping by, man. I got a salt crystal lamp today. Nice. Nice. I have like 5 of them, but yeah, nice. Not to brag or anything, not to flex on you with how many salt crystal lamps I have, but you know, if I was to count them, it would be significantly more than 1. Not to flex on you or anything, but man, I'm so fucking tired. Like, the entire game, something might be wrong right now, actually. It might just be because I'm tired. But, like, the more I look at this game, like, it seems like it's moving faster than it previously was. And that might just be because I'm fucking burnt out for today. But, I don't know, it's weird. It's tripping me out. Like, I'm looking at some of the animations now, like, for, like, this part in particular. And it's like, everything seems like it's moving faster than it used to. To me. Like, in my head, I know everything is moving at the exact same rate that it always has. In my head, I know that, but visually, I'm observing it, and it feels like it's moving faster. And it might just be because I'm tired. I might be a bit dehydrated. I hope that's not signs of, like, a really bad, like, medical thing that I need to get checked out, like something crazy. It's probably not. I'm probably just tired. But also, it could be because I'm looking at most of the game through the OBS capture, which should be running at a slightly lower FPS than the actual game. So maybe when I look at that and then look over at the real game, it appears faster. Even though it's been consistent the entire time. That also could play into it. That's probably what it is. Either that, or I'm just really tired and or dehydrated. But it's like tripping me out. So we'll check 10 more, and then we'll wrap up. Because by the time we do that, it should be roughly 2 hours on stream. It's one of those USB plug ones. And I'm cool with my one. It's pretty, and I can't wait to do some witchy shit with it. A hallucination, which is a symptom of exhaust, which is normal. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I have overexerted myself today a lot, so it might be that. But it's tripping me out, though. Because in my head, I know it's not moving any faster. But what I'm seeing looks like it is. It's fucking tripping me out. I need to go to sleep. That's what I need. I just need to fucking sleep. But after this stream, you guys won't see me again until tomorrow night. Because the weekend streams and then Friday streams we do at nighttime now. And then Monday through Thursday we do like during the daytime or during the evening. And then sometimes at night as well on those days, but usually daytime and evening. But like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, unless we're streaming Pokemon Go, is like exclusively like nighttime streams now. So you guys won't see me during the day tomorrow, it'll be tomorrow night. And we'll be doing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Super Mario Maker 2 because it's going to be Super Sunday. And every Sunday from now on, Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Every Sunday. And then every Saturday we do shiny hunting. Every Friday you guys get to vote what we play for Friday. And then also on Twitch we stream on Friday where we watch anime and stuff. And then Monday through Thursday, I stream pretty much whatever the fuck I feel like playing that day. So that's not very consistent, but the rest of the week, Friday, you guys get to vote on what we stream for Fridays. And then Friday nights, we stream over on Twitch, where we watch anime and stuff. Saturdays are for shiny hunting, and then Sunday is exclusively Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Then Monday through Thursday is just whatever the hell I feel like playing. Also, I've lost count with how many of these I've just checked. So from this point forward, we're going to check 7 of them. So after this, we're going to check 6 more. And then we're going to wrap up the stream. So this is 7... which I'm gonna hope not a shiny. Okay. If we get the shiny, I might actually die of a heart attack. I might just fucking die on stream. Cause this shiny has been crazy. Actually, if you think about it, if I'm streaming every fucking day for multiple hours a day, and presuming that I do this for several years, there's actually a pretty high probability that I will die on camera. If you think about it that way. Because we all die eventually, right? Yeah. So if like a large portion of my life is on camera, there's a pretty high probability that's gonna end up happening. I'm gonna be like fucking 74 on stream and just fucking stroke the fuck out. Oh. I hope that doesn't happen, but at the same time, like, yeah. Either way, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. That's kind of the sad thing about life, is just like, you only get so much time to do things, and then that's it, yeah. But it's like the thing, and not to get like super, you know, super what's the word I'm looking for? I guess deep. There was a different word I was looking for, but not to get like super deep or anything like that. But it's like I believe that if life didn't end, philosophical, that was the word I was looking for. Philosophical. Yes, that was the word. Not to get philosophical or anything, but like, if life didn't end, right? Let's just say we were all immortal, right? Life never ended. We just lived forever. You lose all beauty in life at that point, I personally believe. Because a flower, for example, is only beautiful because you know eventually it's going to wither and, you know, rot. But in that moment, it is beautiful. And the same way, life eventually comes to an end. And it's because it has an ending that you're able to find beauty in it. I believe. So death is a hard thing to deal with for anybody. And it regardless of who you are, it will come for you and you will die eventually. But if we all lived forever, you know, we would lose all the beauty in life. There wouldn't be anything to appreciate anymore. That's what I believe anyway. Would you like a mahogany or cherry wood casket or a traditional coffin? Let's see. Definitely mahogany. Definitely mahogany with like polished brass handles. Or like some really nice polished aluminum, but I think brass would probably look better. Alright, I think after this we got 4 more, if I've been keeping track properly, which I probably haven't. Alright, we're officially 2 hours on this, which means we are 97 hours overall. And we're going to be wrapping up soon. So if we don't get it within the next couple resets, then we're going to have to hopefully get it next episode. And if we don't get it next episode, then we're going over 100 hours. Alright. We got, I think, 3 more after this, or 2 more after this. We're gonna do 3. Or actually, no. This is the 3rd one. So we got 2 more after this one. So we're gonna do 3. We're gonna do this one. Which is not shiny. And we're gonna do this one. And then we do 1 more. And then we're done. Death will one day come for us all. Yeah. I don't know, man. It just sucks, because there's... You know, even if you live to be, like, 100 years old, right? Even if you live to be 100, which very few people do nowadays. But there are people who do, right? Even if you live to be that old, usually you're not going to be in great physical health by that point. So you're going to be limited to what things you can and can't do. So, like, even if you have all that extra time, like, at that point, you're limited to an extent, what you can do. And it's like, even then, 100 years, like, there's so much to an experience in life that even in 100 years, let's assume that you lived 100 years and you were perfectly healthy through and through. You were physically healthy through and through, which wouldn't happen, but, you know, let's just assume hypothetically that it did. Even given that, you would not have enough time to experience everything that life has to offer. You never will. And that's kind of the sad part, you know? Life is a game that cannot be completed. You can't do everything that life has to offer before your time is up. It's just, you can't do it. And that's the sad part, you know? Alright, this will be our final check for this stream. Alright, come on, give me that shiny. I need it. I don't want to have to go 100 hours for this thing. I will if I have to, but I don't want to. That is not shiny. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up here. If we don't get this thing next episode, we're going over 100 hours for this thing. Which I don't want to do. But that's going to have to happen if we don't get it next episode. Because we're 97 hours right now. We're close. But for now, we're going to wrap up here. Thank all you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Come on the ground, babies. I'll see all you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.